take this special moment to thank every single person who is in this room because I feel so honored to be here. And just to think that all of you left everything else that you had to do to be here for the children that you don't even know, I feel so great. Anyway, so I'll move on with my speech. It gives me great pleasure to be on this stage today. What makes it even more honorable is to be in the presence of people who are passionate about a cause that I've pursued since I was young. Today, I'll be speaking about the educational experience of millions of children across Africa. So situations are different across the continent, but the pain points are similar for most of the children for whom we are gathered here today. By sharing my own story, I hope to present everyone with a picture of what the experience is for most African children. I was introduced to reading books when I was around 10 years old. The stories we read came from our English curriculum book, which was one book shared amongst all the pupils in the class. Imagine a classroom of about 45 pupils reading one book in turns. To make sure everyone got a chance to read, we could start reading from the first student sitting in the first row and pass on the book to the next pupil. Everyone reading one line until the story was completed. It would take weeks, sometimes days, before we completed one story. And by the time the story ended, we would have forgotten what it was all about anyway. It defeats the purpose. The story ends. You have not picked up on the vocabulary, you cannot remember the words, all you remember is stammering, trying to finish your line, trying to finish the line so that you can pass on the book to the next person. The idea of having everyone read at least one line was so that we could all learn how to read and retain the content for purposes of homework. And yet we were unable to do homework we did not understand. It becomes difficult to do well in school or in all the other subjects when you can't read and comprehend a question. Ultimately, we learn very little. Hearing the stories of these little kids through the website, Libraries for Kids website, fills my heart with so much joy. One girl says she finds mathematics easy. It's like a game to her. It's 1, 2, 3 because of the books. Another girl says her favorite book, the storybook, is Midnight Journeys, a book that has made her the storyteller of her classroom and has made her write one of the best compositions now. Another boy says because of the books, he now loves science, a subject that he found so difficult. But now he wants to be an engineer. So it fills me with so much joy to see that the impact Libraries for Kids is making is so wonderful in the lives of these young children. We can all agree that the ability to excel in school starts with a child's ability to read and comprehend. As in my case, the first time I had a book that was 100% mine, I was 12 years old. That was Ben Carson's Gifted Hands. My father gave me the book. I was so proud to have a storybook that I read it multiple times and carved my favorite parts. My favorite line for all time from that book was when Ben Carson's mom told him, "Honey, if you can read, you can learn about anything in this world." True, my ability to read has enabled me to do things that I will never have dreamed of. Despite the circumstances of most of these children, we still manage to get past our primary, secondary, and into university. I am one of those children. I attribute a lot of my being here where I am today to my father and books. I had the hunger to read and to get an education, and my dad did everything he could to make sure I got it. I love to read, and through the storybooks that I read, I knew there was a bigger world out there. I was able to dream beyond my village. I began to create a future of myself, a future that was so big I had to get out of my village to be able to realize it. And I knew that someday I would have to get out, no matter what. It has not been an easy journey, but I'm proud of the woman I have become today, and I am proudly a cloud engineer in the United States. I am grateful to have come in contact with Libraries for Kids because It has a vision that is impactful on the future of so many children. A lot of people want to make the world a better place than they found it. And I know that all of you who are seated here are in some way associated with this vision. What Libraries for Kids is doing in Kenya is so massive, I can tell you this. In the 3 years it has been there, they have provided books to more than 1.2 million children in over 5,000 schools. This is a whole generation change. We're talking about families and their children and their siblings, one community at a time. Just in case you're wondering if your contribution makes any difference, I would like to assure you that it does. There is no better gift you can give or you can offer a child than the gift of education. You open up a child's mind, you open up their future, and you change the whole community. I am excited to be affiliated with Libraries for Kids because of the vision of the organization. It empowers the dreams of millions of children in Africa, in East Africa, and very soon the rest of Africa. The long-term goal is to expand and reach children not only in East Africa, but in every place in the world that has no to little electricity. This vision is unattainable without support. And I'm reminded of another line from Ben Carson's book that reads, "Happiness does not come from what we get, it comes from what we give." And so I am here to urge everyone who's present, let's give a little more and let's make this journey a reality. Thank you.
Yes.